Denver 7 Now is sponsored by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Ann Trujillo with the latest from Denver 7. For a minute there, it looked like this would be a quiet season for severe weather in Colorado. And then this, people scrambling to get out of flooded cars. South Metro firefighters rushing to a home after a suspected lightning strike hit an attic. Enough hail to trigger a mudslide powerful enough to shut down I-70 in Floyd Hill. And an actual dust devil in the Dove Ridge subdivision of Parker. So safe to say it has been quite the day, and thankfully Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson says this storm is on its last legs.
And it was a wild afternoon for sure. This is not snow, that's hail up on the mountainside viewed from the Eldora ski area. In Denver, the storm came in with some wicked looking skies. Downtown getting some heavy rain, but missing the brunt of the flooding rains farther to the south. And this is what it looked like rolling down toward Pikes Peak and in the Elizabeth area. So a crazy day. The thunderstorm activity diminishing now, and what we're going to see is a strong storm activity moving off to the east and dying down. But there's a new little wave on this front that's going to spark more storms coming up Saturday afternoon. Temperatures dropped to about 60 overnight. We'll start with some low clouds and then get partly cloudy, and then storms will begin to redevelop. Probably the worst of it will be from Denver to the southeast tomorrow. A little drier to the north and very warm again out west with temperatures there up close to 90 degrees. Will be about 85, and we do have another chance of the storm Sunday, but then it quiets down. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week all look quiet with a nice cool down toward the end of the week, maybe just in the upper 70s for highs by next Thursday.
We'll take it. Thank you, Mike. The Denver sheriff appears to have reached the end of the line. Sources confirmed to us that he will likely resign within the next 2 weeks, and it's not his decision. Denver 7's Jennifer Kowaleski joins us tonight with the 4 years of failures and scandals that have gotten us to this point.
Let's walk you through the timeline. October of 2015, Sheriff Patrick Furman is sworn in as an agent of change for an embattled department. A month later, inmate Michael Marshall is killed at the hands of deputies inside the jail. The city goes on to settle for $4.6 million, and more videos of deputies accused of excessive force surface. Then late last year, we learned deputies racked up more than $11 million in overtime. Too much OT had been a sore spot before Furman took office. Just the beginning of cases raising serious questions about the sheriff's leadership.
Sheriff of the city and county of Denver. Of the city and county of Denver.
Sheriff Furman started his job with high hopes of fixing the department's culture.
My legacy with the department is somebody who has come in and listened to the people, listened to the employees.
But almost 4 years in, Denver's top deputy is under fire for not bringing the change he promised. With a new council in power, multiple sources tell Contact 7 the pressure is mounting, and Furman will likely resign within 2 weeks. Two recent scandals are likely the tipping point. This woman, who gave birth alone in her Denver jail cell, is now suing the city. Her attorney says her cries for help were ignored.
She was passing blood. She cried out in pain and was writhing, as video shows. And yet Denver and Denver Health wouldn't take her to the hospital.
Diana Sanchez went on to deliver a healthy baby boy after she labored for 5 hours. How much this could end up costing taxpayers is yet to be seen. All the while, 10 female deputies sued the city claiming discrimination, and council is set to vote on a $1.5 million settlement in that case next week. We've reached out to the powers that be at the city. None have returned our calls for comment. Jennifer Kowaleski, Denver 7.
It's one thing for the EPA to decide your air quality is bad enough that you need to face harsher regulations. It's another for the governor to ask for it. That's what's playing out right now in EPA meetings after Governor Polis requested the rating in 8 metro and northern Colorado communities be changed from moderate to serious. And the reason? He believes the automotive and oil and gas industries will not clean up their act unless forced to do so. For leaders in drilling capital Weld County, that means new permits and more red tape. A costly proposition commissioners feel could make Colorado less attractive to developers.
Do I agree with Jared Polis in the fact that he says we should aggressively pursue lowering our air quality and, lowering that standard and getting to that attainment? Absolutely. Do I agree that we should hold it back with a bunch of bureaucratic morass? No, I do not.
Many industry groups also argue the real problem is pollution from other states. Of course, those businesses could lose money under these new rules. Small town feel, big city, number of things to do. Like so many communities in our Colorado, Castle Rock is booming in population and construction. And like all of those other neighborhoods, not everyone is on board with the changes. Denver 7's Lance Hernandez explains.
Everywhere you look, there are signs of growth in Castle Rock. Work crews have leveled this lot in preparation for a 7-story condo retail parking complex called Encore. The town chipping in $9 million so it can own half of the parking spaces.
Parking can be a problem downtown, so especially during our big events, and so that's going to help a lot.
Mayor Jason Gray says Encore and Festival Park will make downtown a destination.
For the longest time, most businesses downtown are just surviving. And it's time for our businesses downtown to start thriving.
What do residents think? Is 7 stories too tall?
What's this one?
6.
Don't think they're doing a disservice by building up, because we still will have places to walk, green spaces.
Some people who decline to go on camera say tall buildings detract from the charm of downtown. Former resident Deanna Meyer, who still shops there, not a fan of any of the growth. She says Castle Rock's sprawl is like cancer.
I find it horrific, to put it mildly.
She questions the town's long-term planning.
Castle Rock's already recycling their toilet water into drinking water, and just how far are they thinking ahead for our children?
The mayor says the future is exactly what they're planning for. He says without growth, they wouldn't have a hospital or some of the destination parks. He says developers are entitled to build, and the city works with them to make sure the quality of life is sustainable.
We're popular for a reason.
Lance Hernandez.
There's a lot of great things going on here.
Denver 7.
This has been your Denver 7 On Demand update. Thanks for joining us. Check back here later tonight for another update and download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. I'm Ann Trujillo.